What's up, everybody, and welcome to the iReach Podcast. I'm your host, Paul Robinson, founder and CEO of ConstructReach, a national consultancy and initiative that aims to diversify the construction, design, and innovation industries and empower a younger generation. Every single week, we are here merging education, industry, and culture with a variety of featured guests that you do not want to miss. So let's go, iReach. All right, what's going on, everybody? This is Paul Robinson back. Got a special guest today, Tyshaun Allen. Tyshaun, what is up, man?
Just trying to be a good father and a good husband, man.
Hey, man, that's the goal all the time, buddy. I get it, man. That is something we should strive to get better in every single day because it's always a learning process. Cool. So, man, we go get right into it. I know a little bit about your background, man. We've been at this thing now for a few years, just working together, trying to really make some changes within this industry. But tell us a little bit, man. Let's talk about you for the audience here. Just share your story, man. Like where you're from, how you got to where you are, what you're doing.
Somebody asked me the other day that I was, how old was I? I told them 37, but I feel like I'm 50. So I'm from New York. I'm from Harlem, New York. I was born and raised there. Spent most of my high school time there. And around the age of 17, my family, we moved to Columbus, Indiana. Right after that, I got a job in the construction industry. I was graduating high school and I knew I wanted to go to school, but I also thought I wanted to go back to New York. So my plan was to just be like my grandmother. She had an apartment. She worked for the phone company, and she had a little bit of money in her pocket. I knew this because she took a cab every morning to work. So that was just something I always wanted to do. And then my future goals was to get an apartment, work for the phone company, and get a Beamer and a Rolex. That's all I knew.
And then you set.
That was it. That was the dream. That was the goal. And moving to Indiana, I got introduced to a guy that had a construction company. So he asked me, did I know how I was going to pay for college? And I told him, yeah, I was just going to save all the money I ever had. But he said he can give me opportunity making a few more dollars to help me pay for school. So I said, well, this is cool. This will accelerate me getting back to New York faster. And so I landed in construction. I started as a general laborer in the union for his company, Taylor Brothers Construction, and been there ever since.
Yeah, man. Yeah, no, that is cool, man. One of the things, because I think you have an amazing story, Ty. So, just wanted to kind of start off with that, man, and you sharing, how you got into this industry. And when you think about that, we've had other episodes where we talked about the importance of early exposure. And with you having that relationship once you moved to Indiana and having this industry exposed to you, what did you know about construction before that opportunity came?
In terms of information, nothing. I knew what I saw. Didn't have titles. I didn't have anything to base anything on. You see construction because New York is such a big city, but nothing. Even when he told me he was giving me a job and I would be a laborer, I didn't know what that was. I didn't know what he did. I just knew he told me it was $14 an hour and it was good pay. So no, nothing, Paul. Like, I grew up, I'm from 84. I was born in 84. So around the time I was growing up, the internet wasn't available. So unless somebody told you or you asked somebody or you read a book, I didn't know anything.
Yeah. So when did you realize that? Because like you said, you were like, listen, I can take advantage of this opportunity. It's paying well. That's going to get me back to New York. I can get that Beamer. I can get that Rolly. But when did you realize that, you know what, man, I'm gonna stick with this?
It was hard, right? So being a laborer was hard. It's all physical labor work. You're an assistant to a carpenter or another trade, but you don't really perform a lot of the building scope. So I was like, this is hard work. I was a little slimmer back then. I weighed a lot less.
Yeah.
So, for a skinny, smaller guy, I was like, I'm not even strong enough to be doing a lot of this. So 4 or 5 years in, I started going back to school for IT. I always liked the industry. I just thought it was real hard and it wasn't something I wanted to do long term.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a conversation with my boss and he said, we got a technology department since you're going to school for technology. I said, I didn't even know you guys use computers. So I said, cool, this is the opportunity for me to stay with the company, but get out of the field. And then I transitioned into the office. So it was then when I was like, it's cozy here. I could do this for a little while.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's good, man. Because that's one of the things, that we try to bring awareness to. For one, is sometimes there's a limited understanding, and this happens for a lot of young people, man. Like there's a limited understanding of what you can do. You mentioned that when you were coming up, right? Like me too, I can identify with that too, man. Like being one of the older millennials, if you will, I can identify with that too, right? Where we didn't have the internet, right? Until we got, a little older or what have you. So growing up, when you think about those very formative years, when you're in elementary school where you're first learning about what a career is and what you want to be, we didn't have, right, that. So unless you had somebody presenting that to you, like personally through a relationship, or you were reading a book, like you were saying, you didn't know about it. But it's amazing, man, because today, even with access to so much information, like this is still an industry that few people know a lot about, right? And so that's one of the things that we try to do within this, and having various guests on talking about their experiences and their opportunities, man, because you can do so much within this industry, right? So you come in on the laborer side, and you knew construction just based on what you saw. But then once you got into the industry, you begin to see different avenues that you could take, different career pathways that you can take, man. And so that piece is very important. Talk to me a little bit, man, about, because we try to make that connection too, especially on the technology side, right? So when you think about a younger audience, all they know is technology, right? We got kids who were born in the 2000s that are now entering into the workforce. All they know is technology, right? So make that connection for them, between the industry of construction as a whole and being able to tie in technology to that, because I think that's one of the selling pieces as well for this industry, is that, it's not all about swinging a hammer. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not all about digging ditches. Yes, that's what you see, and it's okay to do that, but there's more to it if you have other interests.
Yeah, it definitely, technology is definitely assisting the construction industry in a big way from how it used to be. And there's so many different opportunities for people to get involved through that department or through that avenue, because we can't build a lot of these facilities without it. There's a lot of technology that goes into these buildings. So either on the owner side of the construction project or on the contractor side. And, it's so valuable to our industry now because we can't function without it. We're doing work in multiple states across the nation, across the country. We need that to communicate more than ever, just to be efficient, just to be lean. So there's so many opportunities, and it ties in to, you basically have to have it now. We're doing a lot of BIM stuff. There's a lot of robotics in construction. AI is coming into it. Data is so powerful now when you just think about, reporting and what the data can do for a construction company to build revenue and growth and marketing and all of those other. Digital marketing is a strong aspect of what we do in our business. And it's coming more to the forefront. I think they spend a lot of money on it now, something in the millions in just our industry, and it's supposed to double and triple in the next few years.
Yeah. No, that's good, man, and good insight. So, you mentioned that you've been right with the same company since you were, what was it, 17, 18?
18. By law, you have to be 18.
Yeah, man. So 18 years old, you've been with the same company. You got introduced to the industry, right? From the owner of that company. Talk to us a little bit, man, just about Taylor Brothers, the work that you guys do and what sets you guys apart, right, as a company.
Yeah, Taylor Brothers Construction, based out of Columbus, Indiana, was founded in 1933 by the Taylor Brothers. In 1993, the Harmon Brothers purchased and acquired it, making it a minority firm. We are a national contractor. We do work of over 40 states. We'll touch a bunch of cities in those states, and we employ carpenters and laborers. We're signatory with them. But our markets are commercial retail. We get into some casino work, healthcare work, and then we're also a self-performed contractor who self-performs general carpentry.
Yeah, no, that's good, man. And just because one of the things that we try to bring attention to as well is that, you know, we need more of us within this industry. When you think about how many people the construction industry employs, and when you think about the lack of representation that the industry has, we want to increase that diversity, man. And when you think about your position, how you've been able to succeed and grow, you know, in the multiple positions that you've had over time, just from a young adult to now, still a young adult, but a more seasoned adult, if you will. But working for also, we didn't mention that it's a minority owned, right, general contracting company. And that's the thing, man, that's the beauty about this industry, where it's not just we need more diverse representation at the entry level positions, but also for the owner side as well. And so you being able, you know, to essentially kind of understand the different nuances from entry level to being in a leadership position, you know, what that takes, being in some of those strategic meetings and things like that, talking about how the company is able to continue to grow, continue to be sustainable, making sure that the talent pipeline is there, making sure that leadership is shored up or what have you. Like, it begins to open up so many different opportunities, man. And so, you know, hopefully you're seeing, you know, yourself as pretty much a model of success, man. I hope you see yourself that way, because we need more of you, right? But we also need more visibility to your story, your journey, so that we can let others know, hey, this industry can be very significant for you. This industry can be, you know, long-term for you. It can be, you know, a key and a tool, right, to really allow you to develop skill sets, to build a nice life for yourself, man, provide for your family. And so, you know, you've got an amazing story where you can identify with the beginning stages, the front end of what that looks like, but then also growing and furthering your career, man, into more of that management area, and broadening that skill set.
Yeah, it just seemed to make sense, hindsight now today, and I'm glad it happened that way. But yeah, I appreciate it, and whatever I can do to tell my story, because I have found in my travels that it's kind of unique. I don't meet a lot of people like myself that started from the bottom that we're here, right?
Yeah.
And I mean that goes to my mentor too, Tom, and he had a vision, you know, because I was an 18-year-old kid, and of course,
shout out to Tom, man, Tom Harmon.
I just wanted to be in an office in the AC, but he saw the value in starting me from the bottom.
Yeah.
And then it built a certain level of compassion for our field force.
Yep.
I can never be a guy in the office that says, well, just have them do it, or, you know, it doesn't really matter what they think, because I was once that guy.
Yep.
Yeah, I got a short story about a guy that used to talk to me like that, and then we became office mates. But I'll tell you that another day.
Yeah, man. But you know what? I mean, that definitely helps when you're able to identify with others, right? You can say, you know what? I've been out there before, you know, kind of, I've been in the trenches, quote unquote, you know, I know what it's like. Therefore, I can receive what you're hearing. I can be intentional with that. I'm not going to be dismissive to some of your concerns because I understand what it's like, and I think that makes you more of an effective leader, man. When people that maybe up underneath you or, kind of in the vicinity of your management, when they can know that, yeah, when I speak up, Ty gets it because he's been here before, No, that is good.
Also, I work side by side with these guys.
Yeah.
So we got that relationship that we built, and they know it because I was there.
Yeah.
Heard me crying and complaining, and I heard theirs.
Yeah. So this industry, man, has been good to you. But talk to us a little bit about, what's been your biggest challenge?
Maybe the politics within the industry. It's just it's hard to get into. It's hard to open certain doors at times when you're trying to do work across multiple states for different reasons. So, and I'm just not a politics person. That's the difference between the field and the office. So there'll be people in the field that will never make the transition into the office for that reason alone. The guy in the field knows I have to build a building. It's already drawn and spec'd out. It's going to definitely go up this way. The office, it's like, let's do it this way. Let's do it that way. We can't do it. It just gets mixy. So that right there, I think. Other than that, I love the people.
Yeah. All right. So the politics of it, right? That's the hardest challenge. And it seems like, that's something that you're always you're kind of teetering that line, man. Like, okay, how do we get this done? How do we take into account, these different partners that we have and their interests and what they want to see happen? How do we find this happy medium? Right. I get that. I understand that. So what's been the proudest moment?
Proudest moment in construction.
Yeah. What's been that mountaintop experience?
I can't think of nothing. I like the people I work with. I like the people that I work with in the industry. I would take it back to the field. It's a different feeling that you get after you complete a project you had your hands on. So my first project, completing the second one, just knowing that I had a role on a team to build something that's going to last a very long time.
Yeah.
I think that's, if I had to pinpoint it, it was the building part.
You know what, man? I'm glad you said that, because for me, I think, and let me know what you think as well. I think that's one of the things that sets construction apart from other sectors, is because, for one, you can actually see the progress that your efforts contribute to every single day. Sometimes people have to wait to see the results of their work, the fruits of their labor, so to speak. But with construction, every single day you see progress. And so to me, that just kind of sets the industry apart, man.
And you challenge, right? So maybe it is like the last project, but maybe it's not. And you talk about that progress, right? You get through this milestone of doing something that you probably never done before. And you did it, and you're like, I can't believe I literally just built that. I've never built nothing like that before. So, you talk about the industry, right? Now let's get deep for just like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
There's guys out there building bridges with their hands. The stuff that we commute over for decades and centuries. It's gotta be centuries. I've never seen like a bridge not last that long.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then drive over it and just the stuff that we build for the community. So those are different types of projects. We just participated on helping build a food pantry, right? So the building is nothing to brag about, but the concept, the intent of the building to hand out food to the community. There's a garden in the back that they're gonna grow fresh produce, and then we built another library on the side of it. So it's like, that intent was cool, and projects like that are always cool to be a part of because I'm from those communities.
Yeah. No, that's good, man. That brings up another point as well. this industry offers you the opportunity to create spaces that allow for things that you care about to take place. Construction touches all of that, right? In some shape, form, or fashion, it touches so many different aspects of life. You know, you think about healthcare. Okay, well, you need to construct a building and a facility in order for you to get the healthcare. You know, you think about groceries, and you think about fresh produce and food or what have you. Yes, you have the gardens, but then you also have those grocery stores, right? That a lot of those farmers kind of ship, you know, food and fresh produce too, that allows for you to have that in a readily accessible fashion. I mean, it's so many different things, gyms to, you know, work out, or recreation sports and things like that, man. You know, to run leagues. And, you know, my kids, they play basketball all year round, right? They're in tournaments. They love that. I love that. You know, grew up playing sports, but all of that is made possible through construction.
Everything, Paul. Everything. Every facility, building, road, the swimming pool, because now it's so hot outside, right?
Oh, yeah.
I love construction guys for building those swimming pools. It touches everything. I mean, the airport that you flew the plane out of to, you know, to go to Paris. I don't know. But I'm telling the world he was in Paris. So everything. We touched so much, and just thinking about the impact. And the men and women that do these jobs. That's I don't know. I think the proud moment is me working with people with minds like this. Sometimes it's mind boggling. I'm like, how the hell do you know how to do this?
Yeah, man. Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. So you being, you know, pretty much raised in this industry from a certain perspective, you know, because all of your adulthood has been in this industry. But you also understanding, we talked about being able to identify, right, with those who are in the position now that you were in the position in the past. So growing up without an understanding, a full understanding of what this industry has to offer, and just being limited to what you saw taking place, like, what would you tell young people, man, about this industry that they may not know?
The least you can do for yourself is get interested, do some research, do some homework about the industry. It's so lucrative. It's a skill. If you're going into the field, even if you don't go into the field, because the people in the office work so closely with the field personnel. But if you do go into the field, you're going to learn a skill that you'll take with you for the rest of your life, that you can pass down to generations. I assume everybody has to have some kind of shelter. And, you know, a lot of people I know have big dreams of having these big houses. I know guys that build these big houses with their hands for themselves. So, and then there's always something wrong with your house. So having that skill to even be able to know how to do some of that stuff it'll be a valuable asset in your journey through life. It'll be a valuable asset for you to pass down, but it's just a rare thing that you can have forever. The industry is great. The people are great. I've never really met anybody bad in the industry. The business is the business.
Yeah.
But the people are good, generally. So just do your research. If you are interested, use the internet. You have it now. Everything that you want to know is on the internet about construction. And then if you can find somebody, just one person that you know in the industry, or somebody that you know in the trades, ask them some questions. It'll lead to maybe some other people that you could talk to. But I would definitely make a serious, conscious decision just to get more informed. And if you end up in this industry, be prepared to work hard, but it's very rewarding. So.
Yeah. No, that's good, man. That's good, Ty. Appreciate you being on today, man. Like I said, it's always good to just talk, you know, about different experiences, about, you know, how people are able to get in this industry, man. And then just being, you know, a Black successful man, like in this industry, you've grown up in this industry. Like I said earlier, man, I think your story is a huge testament to what, you know, somebody else that looks like you, that comes from where you come from, right, can be. And And I think it's important, man, to bring your story to the forefront because, if you don't see yourself right in this industry, then you don't think it's for you. So hopefully, somebody can see themselves in Ty and, say, you know what, now I can see myself being in it. So thank you for being on, man. I appreciate it.
It's probably my fault a little bit too. I don't take a lot of pictures, so you're not going to see me because I try to stay off of social media physically. But I'm going to do a better job. I'm going to put myself out there more. Paul said they need to see me. I need to be visible. So here I go.
All right, guys. Well, that is our time today. Once again, just want to thank Tyshaun Allen for joining us today. And we'll see you next week. Thanks again, everybody, for tuning into our show. Remember, like, share, subscribe to the podcast, and join the movement as we reach to build a better future that we can all be proud of.